One of my favorite artists growing up was a Native American artist named Acee Blue Eagle. While doing research for him, I found this image of him with Haile Selassie, and I said, what's the Ethiopian emperor doing in Stillwater, Oklahoma? So today we're going to look at this image, break it apart, and figure out its meaning. To do that, we have to answer three questions. Who is Haile Selassie? Who's Acee Blue Eagle? What brought them together? Many think of Africa as a poor and underdeveloped continent. When Haile Selassie started his rise to power, he asked, what can we do to make Ethiopia as developed as Europe? Addis Ababa, the current capital of Ethiopia, is a great example of how developed many African countries are now. Haile Selassie is known for two things. First off, he was Emperor of Ethiopia starting in 1930, and he was emperor for more than 30 years. During his reign, he brought a lot of modernization into Ethiopia. He fought the Italians, first losing Ethiopia to them, and then driving them out of Ethiopia a few years later when he had the support to do so. He brought Ethiopia into the League of Nations, and after its dissolution at the end of World War II, he brought Ethiopia as a founding member into the United Nations. Haile Selassie is also known as the living incarnation of God according to the Rastafarians. Rastafarianism is a religion that is popular in Jamaica. But that's a story for another day. Today, our focus is on his connection to Acee Blue Eagle. But before we get more into that, if you've made it this far, I hope you like this video. Go ahead and hit the like button, please. Alexander McIntosh was born sometime around 1907. Some records point him at 1907, others at 1909, and I even found a couple at 1911, so somewhere in that range. His nickname, Acee, and his native name, Blue Eagle, in order to form the name that he is most known by, Acee Blue Eagle. He is a member of the Muskogee tribe in Oklahoma. After college, Acee started his teaching career at Bacone College in Oklahoma. While he was there, he helped to shape what became known as the Bacone style of art. Here's an example, and another one. He also worked in the art competition in the 1932 Olympic Games. He lectured at Oxford University in England, and he exhibited in the prestigious Grand Central Art Galleries in New York City. His works are still on display in many parts of Oklahoma as well as other parts of the world. During his 3-year stint in the Air Force in World War II, he left murals in every base that he was in. I first became interested in Acee Blue Eagle as a child when my mother gave me this book. And this book has been in my collection ever since. But the important part of this discussion is, what is Haile Selassie doing with Acee Blue Eagle in Stillwater of all places? One of the things that Haile Selassie did to improve and modernize his country was to make relations with other parts of the world. He was one of the first leaders of an African nation to actually make a tour of other countries in the world. In 1954, his tours led him on a tour of the United States. Mainly, he stuck to large cities. That makes sense, right? He's building political relationships, so why would he go to the small town of Stillwater? Another one of the things that he did in order to modernize was to modernize the farming, the agriculture in Ethiopia. In order to do this, he needed an agricultural college in Ethiopia. To form this college, he made a relationship with Oklahoma A&M, which is in Stillwater. You wouldn't expect the leader of a nation to be the one visiting the college, but this is exactly what he did. He felt that this relationship with this little college in Oklahoma was important enough that he himself was going there. While he was there, he said that one of the things that he'd like to do would be to meet a Native American. Acee Blue Eagle was that Native American. Acee Blue Eagle met him at the airport and presented him with a headdress and gave him the name Great Buffalo High Chief. Haile Selassie also got an opportunity to honor Acee Blue Eagle with an award for 8 paintings that were presented to the National Art Museum of Ethiopia. Remember, history doesn't have to be this huge, overarching story in order to be interesting. We can take a single photograph, find out what the point is of that photograph, and that can be history too. What do you find interesting in history? I encourage you, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you find most interesting in history. I want to remind you that there is a lot about both of these figures. I could easily do a 2-hour video about each single one of these figures. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep watching. For another amazing African figure in history, check out this video about Nelson Mandela, from prisoner to president in just 4 years.